not because there's a comment that said they want that, then that has to go up. At the end of the day, it's our marriage. It's not our marriage.
Yeah, community marriage.
Community marriage, like realistically, let's just say it as it is. Although we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
It's just not like, it's for everyone.
Friends, I'm Silale and welcome to The Narrative. This podcast is where African sports celebrities and guests talk about the challenges, the life, the experiences that make them who they are. We talk about anything and everything sports, but most of all, we have a
good time.
That's right. Now, in the spirit of weight loss season, aka the beginning of the year, I've invited one of Kenya's most popular fitness coaches to talk about his social media empire. He's come a long way from being named Mr. United States International University. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shiv, Simani, welcome to the Narrative Podcast.
Thank you.
So nice to have you here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, especially after just finding out what you guys are all about. And yeah, it's exciting to be here. Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll talk about all of that.
Okay.
But even as I host you here on this podcast, allow me to congratulate you on the podcast that you've recently launched with your wife. You and I in it.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah.
Unit.
You and I in it.
Yeah. I like that. I like that play on the words.
Thank you.
Tell me a bit about where the inspiration behind that came from.
It came from a number of places. First, it came from the fans, our fans, people who support us. We've had a lot of requests just to talk more about our relationship. We've been in a long-term relationship. It's been 13 years this year. So I guess there's a need for that out there. We really didn't see it. It just came from a number of requests, and not just from fans, but also close friends within our inner circles. But like, you guys should really talk about your relationship and just around it, in and around it. And also, I guess by this point, by the time we're starting it, maybe we were like, you know what, it's something we've never done. It's a space we feel like we can also, I don't say exploit, but take up.
Yeah.
And if someone can learn something from us, if someone can be motivated or inspired from what we have to say, then let's go ahead and do it. Because also for us, this is a way for us to learn. It's kind of new for us, although we know each other and we've been together, we keep changing. So some of the things that keep coming up, it's also just like refreshing our memory and also helping us in our relationship in a sense.
Right.
Figure some stuff out that we may not have thought about if we didn't have the podcast. Yeah.
I feel like it's always tricks, right? Because especially as a married couple, because you don't want to put all your business out there.
Yeah.
And yet you do also want to share what you've been through and your experiences to help the next married couple, or to help the next people in a relationship. So like for you guys, how do you strike that balance?
There's things we obviously know that we're not going to talk about, and I think we try to make it as clear as possible from the very beginning that as much as we're doing this, we have to still protect our relationship, we have to protect our marriage and what we have. So we are both not all about the drama and just the show and just going online and looking for clout. So if you're coming to look for clout, this is not where you're going to get it. That's not why we're here. We're here to try and educate and just get better together, ourselves and with everyone else. So we just shoot and have topics around those lines, and we try to keep it, as informative as possible, entertaining as possible, but also still protecting what we have and some things. I mean, we're not going to tell it all.
Yeah.
Some things have to remain a mystery and private, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So
and
it's not
healthy.
about, that's healthy.
Yeah.
I think that's necessary, It's not because there's a comment that said they want that, then that has to go up, At the end of the day, it's our marriage, it's not our marriage.
Yeah, community marriage.
Community marriage, like realistically, let's just say it as it is. Although we
Right.
appreciate you guys,
Yeah.
it's just not like, it's for everyone.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
really respect that. And you guys started in February?
Yeah, I think the first episode went up February 17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what was really intriguing to me, I feel like you guys sneezed and boom, 10,000 plus subscribers. Like, guys have been working for years to build a following, and I think it really is like a testament to the brand that you built for yourself individually, and for Shiko, the brand she built, and then even the brand you guys built as a couple. So by the time you're launching this podcast, right, it was time.
Yeah.
Like the fan base was there, the audience base was there.
Wow, it was, and I feel like still is a bit overwhelming. Although we have these numbers on these other platforms, this is a totally new thing, and
Right.
you just don't know how people will receive it, because there's just one or two voices saying they wanted this, and our voice obviously. But when it went live and the kind of views and numbers of subscribers that were going up it shocked us. I'll be honest, for me, it shocked me, and we were just like, oh my God, have you seen this?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
We're almost here. Look at 10K, we did like a giveaway because we're like, look, this is mind-blowing kind of thing. So, you don't really know what will happen, but we just really appreciate that it happened the way it did.
No, I mean, congratulations to you guys. Honestly, that's superb. So now talking a bit about you. I did a bit of research, and I saw that you actually wanted to be a professional football player.
Yeah.
And then you realized soon enough or early enough that you're like, okay, you know what, this is not the path that I want to go. So what actually triggered or made you realize that you wanted to go fully into fitness and also nutrition?
So I wanted to be a footballer, and when I realized it wasn't possible, it's not that that's not how I still wanted to go. I still wanted to go that way, but it was just not realistically possible to go that way.
You were like, the skills.
Yeah, I feel like I had the skills. I feel like I had the skills. I honestly feel like I had the skills. I was able to enter at least, a team here and there. And I was able to be a starter in every team. So, I mean, I have the skills.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity that wasn't available in terms of the academies and the amounts we need to pay for the academies. And if it's in Kenya, I mean, how many were there? It's just like one person picked out of a million in, kind of thing. And then after you get there, what's the pay like? Like, there were so many barriers I was looking at when I was like, okay, is it worth it here? And so I want to fly out, and that wasn't an option because we just couldn't afford it. So if we couldn't afford it, it's like, okay, like it just won't happen. Let's just think things over again. So fast forward, I basically went through high school, where I was actually in the swim team and track team, a bit of the football, but house team. I kind of lost the love for football. I think it was just, I wanted to block it out completely kind of thing. And then I went into uni, where I kind of just lost the plot with everything in general.
Yeah, I mean, it usually happens in university.
You will go from structured schools to do your own thing kind of thing, and that kind of threw me off. And after a series of unfortunate events that could have been avoided, honestly, I found my way back into working out. So I started to I quit drinking for a year. I quit. I was still smoking. I used to smoke. I started smoking in uni, and this was a habit I really wanted to kill because I hated it, but I was doing it.
Right.
So working out and sports helped me get back out of it. So I started just entering the gym. I worked out, I think, every day for a year. Literally, I was going for Muay Thai, that's kickboxing and stuff. I was going for runs. So it's like I threw all my extra energy and frustration into just working out. And I loved it. It's like I found my passion again and my love again for what I wanted to do.
And then like the smoking thing. Did you just
Yeah.
wake up? Because I have friends
Yeah.
who are like chain smokers.
Yeah.
One is actually a basketball player.
Yeah.
And she just woke up one day and was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then there are others who it's a struggle, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
you hate it, but you're trying to kill it, but you
Yeah.
can't. So like,
Yeah.
how did you break that habit?
I think it took me around 2 years to stop though.
Wow.
Like 1 year was like reducing amounts, then like okay, I'm done, stop. Then after like maybe 3 months, backslide. Then I'm done. But every time I stopped, the periods got longer and longer. And by the time I came back after the longest period, I tried a cigarette and I felt like this was nauseous and started to throw up. I hated it so much.
So it's like your
Just
body
the
had
smell,
rejected it
yeah.
now.
So
Okay.
it got to that point of this mind and body have completely rejected this. And I was like, okay, that's it for that. And
That's
let's
dope.
move on to the next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So the fitness journey came up, and one of my best friends was doing fitness at the time abroad. So I was kind of using these like course texts for training, and just social YouTube was like coming up at the time. So there was a lot to learn on YouTube that we didn't have here. And it was just about us sharing our journey, our story. Like, we're going to the gym, so we're going to record workouts in the gym, and then we're just going to talk about it on YouTube. It was literally that. We're just recording and working out and record, just having fun. And we started to build a following of people who wanted to know what we're doing, wanted to know what it's all about, and also wanted us to help them out. So then we started this company, and the rest is history.
Huh.
Yeah, that's literally how it started.
I feel like, I have a younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when it comes to fitness, you can't be halfway through.
Mhm.
Like you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
My younger brother was obsessed. To date, if you go on his social media
Yeah.
page, all his memes, all his posts have everything to do with protein powder, working
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
lifting, the culture.
Mhm.
And he's like 35.
Yeah.
And I feel like once it's almost addictive.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
Yeah.
once you're in it and you're in the culture,
Yeah.
then you are completely. I've never
You-
seen
you're
someone
in
who's
the
like the
lifestyle.
gray. It's black or white.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're in the lifestyle, you're in the lifestyle.
Mhm.
You're wearing the clothes, you
Yeah.
have the isms, it's
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. But also I feel like initially I was that intense, and I kind of like refused, everything else in life. But I feel like I've grown enough to know how to balance out my lifestyle. I think even with being married, having kids,
You have to.
yeah, you kind of have to
Yeah.
at some point, unless, well, you don't have to technically.
Yes.
Depends what your goal is.
Mhm.
Is my goal to just live a healthy, balanced lifestyle, or am I trying to be the baddest, this or this, and the best in the world? If you're trying to go that path, there's sacrifices.
True.
A lot more that you have to make, and everyone around you also has to understand that.
Yeah.
So it depends on what level you want to go on. See, I'm not trying to be 100-meter sprinter. I'm not trying to be the biggest bodybuilder. I'm not trying. I know what I am and what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So I'm good with it.
Yeah.
But it's not that I would push myself. I'll still push myself. But I feel like you kind of strike a balance once you start to understand what it's all about.
True. Very, very true. And really it's across all sports
Yeah.
disciplines. So you are an online fitness trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Did that come as a result of the COVID period when, like, is that something that grew because of the from the COVID period when we're all in our homes and guys really shifted, like it became the thing?
Yeah.
Or was that something that you were doing even before COVID and it just kind of grew?
The online training has been something we've always wanted to do from the very beginning. Very beginning being like, I'd say 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
Because we were seeing how it was growing in other countries, especially the States and Europe. So it's something we always wanted to do, always wanted to have the platform to do it. And yeah, I'd been testing the waters here and there before COVID, but I think when COVID hit, it was like, okay, now we really don't have a choice, so let's go, all in on this direction. And for me, I'm able to reach more people in that sense. As a coach, it's a bit difficult because I do enjoy physical coaching. I do enjoy being present in the presence of people I'm coaching. But also, if I can reach more people online and I can do my very best in terms of, I can do my very best in terms of also motivating them, inspiring them, and coaching them as well as I can, and reach more, then that's the way I'll go.
Because I was going to ask, like, my next question was going to be why online as opposed to like face-to-face training. But does it make more financial sense to be able, because like if you're physically in a location, we're talking about you have to go to this house, this gym, that gym. But with online, you're in the same location and you can probably handle more clients in a day.
I mean, there's different ways. So you can either have, so I've tried the different models from going from house to house to house, and that's cool, but there's I don't feel like the market is big enough for that in terms of what I can charge per hour. What I should be charging per hour is not where it should be for it to make sense for me to do these house calls. Also, in terms of infrastructure, driving around isn't very economical. I'd have to bike around or something. So there's those factors to consider, and is it worth it? Then there's the model where you're in the gym and you have maybe now guys coming to you, so you're able to do it back to back. But it's also very physically and mentally draining.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so now what I do is I do a few hours in a day, but I do classes. So now you have groups of people coming in. But also there's also, can't reach as many people, you're limited to the space you have. So there's all these factors to consider. There's other ways you can do it. You can build teams of people and all that. Or you can also go online and reach people in other countries. You don't have to just lock yourself into here. I feel like there's enough people around the world looking for good trainers for good training. So if I can reach more people, then that's the way I would go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, it makes sense, to be honest. Yeah. So now from this passion, actually, before we get to that question, we haven't even really talked about the nutrition element. And I think, or my understanding is that nutrition is arguably even more, depending on your goals really, but if we're talking about losing weight or really trying to get swole, nutrition is arguably even more important than the actual workout itself. Or am I wrong in saying that? You look like you're like, she's so wrong, but I don't want to tell her.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'd say give each 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to eat according to what you're trying to get to. You have to train according to how you want to, what you want to achieve. Okay, for example, if you're trying to be a sprinter, you'll have to train explosive movements, whether in the gym or on the track. And you have to eat enough to sustain this muscle growth and your fuel in that sense. So a sprinter, let's say, may eat the 3,000 calories for this explosiveness and for this explosiveness and power and muscle. Yeah. Now, if you're trying to train for your long distance, you're still eating that 3,000, maybe even slightly more, but now you're training differently. You're training your slow twitch muscles, you're training for endurance, you're doing different movements and different workouts in the gym. It's the same way if you're trying to add weight. Now you have to eat more food, like, a certain way. You have to eat a lot more food because you're trying to add weight. You're trying to add some fat, some muscle, some strength, some power. If you're trying to lose weight, you have to eat less. However, training in the gym for most people will kind of look the same unless you're very sport specific, athlete specific. I think any other ordinary person who's doing this for a lifestyle will train more or less the same way, unless you're in the gym, maybe you're swimming, you're running. It doesn't matter. The intensity is slightly different, but the food is where now you kind of make the difference and make the change, because you can't be trying to lose weight and you're eating anything you want. You can't out-train a bad diet. You can't be trying to add weight and you're not eating enough. You're like, I only get 1 meal a day, I'm not very hungry. So what weight are you going to add by not working, by not eating how you want to grow? So it's just, there has to be a balance. You have to do both to a certain extent for you to see your results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was and you're not gonna like this, but I was watching this video about this guy who he was overweight.
Yeah.
And the idea was that does it matter what you eat, or is it the amount of calories that matters when it comes to losing weight? So this guy was eating trash, like Oreos, Twinkies in the States, which are I think Twinkies are even banned in some countries around the world.
Yeah.
But like really trash food. But the caloric intake was lower than what he was burning in that day.
Yeah.
And he lost weight.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
what does this mean? Like, does it matter what we eat, or do we just need to eat fewer calories than what we burn in a day?
So all the factors above matter. So one, you first need to be eating lower than your body. You need to be on a caloric deficit if you're trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
So you need to be eating less than your output in general throughout the day, not just in the gym. So when we start there, so now let's say we have a budget of 1500 calories a day, and that 15 is what will help you lose weight. And this is different for different people depending on different factors, from your age, your current weight, your height, your muscle mass, your gender is also a factor, and just your levels of activity throughout the day, not just in the gym. So let's say 1500 is for person A to lose the weight, yeah? And person B also needs 1500. So for 1500, both of you lose weight, it doesn't matter. However, now it depends on the quality of now your lifestyle. Yeah, so let's say 1500 has been packed with all the junk food in the world. So you're mainly getting in sugars and carbs and just trash,
Yeah.
And this other person is getting in proper food. So this person who's eating the 1500, first of all, junk food will just be, you'd have a less amount of food to eat in terms of volume.
Right.
So you can have 1500 calories of pasta, let's say for example, of pasta, this is 1500 calories. But you can have 1500 calories, this is now 1500 calories of something like sweet potatoes. So it comes down to now the different types of carbs you're eating. Are you just eating sugars, which are just simple carbohydrates, or are you incorporating more complex foods into your diet? So complex carbs, so it's higher in vitamins, higher in minerals, higher in protein, higher in fiber. That way you're feeding your gut the way it used to be fed with the fiber, you're feeding your muscles, and at the end of that month of these two eating this trash and this person will have better quality muscle, better quality appearance, skin, internals, your cholesterol levels. So yes, this one would have also lost weight, but there will be a difference in the quality of basically their fitness level. They won't be able to perform the same in the gym also. I can 100% tell you that whoever is fueling like an F1 car versus fueling from a backdoor petrol station will have better performance, better strength, better sleep, better skin, better in general than the other person who's just not nourishing their body.
Right.
Yes, you're losing, but it's trash. So you're not getting nourished, you're not recovering, you're tired, you're sleepy, you're weaker, your stamina is lower.
I feel like even mental health is affected.
Your mental health is affected because of all these spikes in dopamine, and then down, up and down. This sugar making you high and then down, up and down. So it's also affecting your mood, affecting your mental health.
Yeah.
So it does matter what you eat. You can lose, but at what cost?
So I should not eat pizza every day.
No.
For every meal.
No, so you shouldn't eat pizza every
I'll
meal.
cancel that plan.
Yeah.
I'll cancel that plan. Okay. No, you've broken it down really, really well for me.
Yeah.
Now I want us to shift gears a little bit and talk about more on the digital side of things. You have this intense passion for fitness, and from it you're able to build this individual brand.
Yeah.
And right now you have 150K plus followers on Instagram. That didn't happen overnight. And I don't think it happened by accident either. So I wanted to know how you were able to now build that, I call it a social media empire. And I think that for Kenya, if you look at guys in fitness, you are right up there in terms of followers and as an influencer. So how were you able to build that?
First, I think I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy the online space. I enjoy coming up with content. I enjoy shooting content, editing content. So it's something I actually love to do. And from this, I do it a lot more. So I'm consistent with it because I think I enjoy it. Also, there's a bit of discipline to it because it becomes a job, you know. And I also research how to make it better. I'm constantly trying to make my content better. I'm trying to level up in terms of how I'm passing across my message. I know what message I want to pass, but how can I best get to people? So I do a lot of research in terms of what's out there, in terms of how people are doing it. I look at, try to follow the breadcrumbs from the successful people in the industry, this industry out there, especially on YouTube, Instagram, all platforms. So I absorb a lot of their content. I look at what they're doing. I read a lot of books. I don't know if this helps me. I think this helps me personally, but I try to see how to apply it in terms of the books I read. I'm really into psychology and just human behavior. I find it very interesting and intriguing. So I'm constantly trying to get better at it. And if that's what people are responding to and that's why people are coming more, then I think that's a good thing because that's kind of the goal, to reach as many people as possible. And if they keep coming back and the community keeps growing, I think it means I'm doing something good, something right. Yeah.
I mean, really, kudos to you because I feel like fitness instructors, if you throw a stone in a crowd, you'll hit a fitness instructor. Like there's so many of them out there.
Yeah.
But you have carved out this niche for yourself. You've been able to build this brand and to stay relevant for years now. It's you're not an overnight sensation. It's been a good chunk of time where you've been able to maintain and continuously elevate that popularity.
Yeah.
And I think what's so interesting to me, and I'm happy you've mentioned it, is that you're being very intentional about it. You're reading books, you're doing research. And I feel like I don't want to talk like an old person, but these kids these days, they think that boom, you can just have overnight social media success. Boom, just because I look good and I'm fit and I can lift a lot of weights, I can become an internet sensation. And it's not like that.
It's not.
But at the same time, you know what we do here at Ali Mali with the sports management. Part of the things that we talk about with our clients is building a social media presence. And this is now our individual athletes and also our teams. But specifically now for the individual athletes, I've been trying to tell them how important it is you can't just have 500 followers on social media. You have to build your digital presence. And a lot of them feel intimidated because of the things you've mentioned, where it's editing, it's creativity, it's figuring out what's trending and then how to make it fit into the market that you're in, because what's trending in the States doesn't necessarily mean it's going to trend here in Kenya. Who edits the videos? Who comes up with that creative element? How often do you post? Is there like an optimal time to post? And I just want to hear from you now to advise like those athletes, where do they begin? Do they have to have an iPhone to do this, to create this content? Because there's nothing worse than super grainy videos. You can't hear what the person is saying. The audio is bad. So how do they understand what they need to do, and how do they build that brand on social media?
Okay, few pointers. Good question, actually. So I'd start by saying, one, you kind of have to get out of your comfort zone if it's not something I don't want to say like to do, something you used to do. You have to get out of your comfort zone. In this day and age, I feel like you kind of have to be out there for you to be chosen. You know, I don't want to say chosen, but what's the word to use? For there to be more eyes on you, for you to get people's attention, you have to do something. And attention in this day and age is a lot more scarce. You know, it's a lot harder to get someone's attention for 1 minute, for leave alone 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 hour, 2 hours. I mean, even for this 40-minute podcast, getting people's attention is not very easy. So how do you get people's attention? How do you get people to buy into who you are, what you are about as a brand? You kind of have to step out of your comfort zone. And I think the blueprint is there in terms of what are these other people who are where I want to be doing. And if there's a blueprint they've left behind, then you kind of have to, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
So this person just is live every week on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Friday. This person is putting up content, a video every 4 days a week. This person is putting up a picture every 2 days a week, consistently. Consistently, educating people, consistently putting up good content. Initially, you might not know what to do, and that's fine. I think you just have to be ready to fail forward. You have to be willing to just get out of comfort zone, get in front of a camera, get used to it. You don't even have to put up these videos or these photos at first. You can just be recording yourself in front of your camera and then play it back. Look at yourself, look at how is your whole face in it, Are you facing the sun? So is your face facing the sun, or is your head facing the sun?
So the shadow, and you can't.
Is there a shadow and can we not see you? So you start to learn about lighting, and the more you start to learn about, all right, so when I'm shooting, I should speak slightly louder. The camera should be at this angle. If the sun is this side, I should not move too much because I have this much space. You can even draw lines on the floor, draw small invisible lines with tape on the wall. So you constantly have to be learning as you go on. If you're able to get a team, even better for you. But most people are not able to get a team from the very beginning. So you have to be willing to get out your comfort zone and practice, and learn as you go. And people start to appreciate that because you don't have to have the best content in terms of production in the world for people to appreciate. If anything, almost all viral videos are always just some funny, grainy videos, or a video you didn't put too much effort in at the end of the day, So it's just all about just putting it out there and growing with your audience. Because if you're putting out good content, you kind of have a plan. You've put it down in a calendar. At least every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm putting out maybe Fitness Monday, Motivation Monday, Wellness Wednesday, Fitness Friday. So I have to be creating content for this every other week. Don't think about it as I'm giving out free content. Yes, you are, but how many people are going to now take that you're giving out? You're giving 3 workouts a week for free. So there's billions of us in the world. So do you think all these billion people are going to first see your content, second be like, okay, that's the workout for the week, and how many people are going to write down every workout that you put out every week and create their own meal plan or workout plan?
Right.
So you're putting this out, so you're also showing that you're knowledgeable, you know what you're talking about, you're confident in yourself, and someone will be like, yo, I like what you're doing, make me one for me, personalize something for me. You're talking about nutrition, so some guys will be like, okay, this guy knows what you're talking about, create something for me. So that's, you're marketing yourself, you're advertising yourself, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to be confident, and if you don't know everything, that's fine. We don't all know everything. You don't have to go on camera and talk about something you don't know.
Right.
No one's forcing you.
Yeah.
So if there's a particular topic you want to talk about and you're not sure about it, literally research the night before, go into Google, even have notes. You can have notes on the phone or the phone behind the phone. So there's a pointer, you look at it real quick, talk about it. You don't have to know everything, just have to know how to present it. And to do that, you just have to start slowly and get out of your comfort zone and be consistent with it. Yeah.
Well, let's hope that they hear.
Yeah.
Hope they hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just the way things are now,
But I really want to make this point hit home for our athletes and teams out there. And I know the answer, but I'm asking you this for the sake of the guys who are listening in. What is the connection between followers and getting sponsorships and brand ambassadorships as an athlete?
Okay. Unless you're like, so what's the relationship between followers and getting sponsors? So
basically digital presence and social media and getting those sponsorship deals.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, if we start at the top, if you're the greatest athlete, you kind of don't need to do any social media work, because a whole team will follow you wherever you are, but you still have a huge presence. And you having that huge presence, look at whether it's Ronaldo, Messi, whoever, a brand knows that if we are endorsing you, we have 50 million people, or let's say if you have 50 million followers, let's say even just, if you have 100 million, even just 20% of that is like 20 million people following you, and have constant eyeballs from 20 million people. So that's huge in terms of the number of people who are seeing your brand. The more you have, the more people see your brand, the more people you're talking to, and those people will talk to other people. So the sponsor is getting visibility, is getting money back. You know, that's a return on investment. They're getting eyeballs, and eventually people are buying into your brand because, and your sponsor, this basically the sponsorship brand, because they're buying into you. If you're doing it, then we are following you because we love what you do. We love how you play your basket. We love your skill. We are behind you. We support you 100%. And now, if that's a brand you trust to work with and are sponsored by, then we will be most likely to buy that brand's, shoe, that brand's, jersey or something, that brand's merch, basically. So it's important. The more eyeballs you have, the more people you can show that you have an influence over. So it's easier, basically, for a brand to decide on this.
And like for you and the deals that you have, have you had to go out there and actually be like, hey, pick me?
Yeah.
Or do you have companies approaching you and be like, hey, Shiv, we like your platform.
Yeah.
We see your followers. We want you to endorse or be a brand ambassador for this product.
Both.
Right.
Both. Initially, I was kind of just relying on, hoping companies would come. But as things start to get more competitive, as the kids grow and need school fees, and just realizing that, I also need to be proactive. So I started being as proactive as possible. So, every year you're writing down a list of, these are all the brands I want to work with. And then now you're picking each of them and figuring out how you want to work with each of them, in what capacity. So then it's like, okay, we're going to write proposals every week. At least every week we're sending out 1 or 2 proposals every single week until we're done with this list. And we're going to follow up with each of these people until we hear a no or a yes. The worst that can happen is no. So it's like, okay, cool. And you're like, why? Why no? So you're getting feedback because this and this, so you're understanding, okay, this is how I should tailor things for this particular set of people. This is how I should tailor things for this people. And then others just come to you in the process because maybe they're like, nah, but maybe they have an agency and they're like, yo, are you guys into this? So you just have to put yourself out there and be more proactive to get more people coming towards you. Because as much as you may think you have all these followers, not everyone sees you. Not every HR or marketing salesperson is on Instagram or YouTube, so they have no idea who you are, in fact, when you're brought forward to the table. So you kind of have to push and introduce yourself and put yourself out there in a proactive way also.
Yeah. I liked the word that you used, being intentional about it.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely key. By the way, I felt you 100% that comment about the kids'
school
fees.
Yeah.
There's nothing like being introduced to adult life than seeing how much school fees cost.
School fees, food, fee.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. So this is my last question. You understand this very well. I wanted to know which athlete do you think, like right now in Kenya, let's keep it specific to Kenya, which athlete has really impressed you in terms of their digital presence and basically what they're trying to do? They're good at what they do as an athlete and in their sports discipline, but they also are trying to make sure they have a strong social media presence.
I'd say Kipchoge. This Kipchoge. There's a lady, she's a runner. Oh my goodness, why am I forgetting her name? Oh my days.
Long distance, short distance?
She's a long distance runner.
Faith Kipyegon?
No. She has a daughter also who sometimes runs with her. She runs, I think, sides of Nanyuki usually. But she does represent us mainly in the world tour marathons, like the London, the Germany, what's her name? Is she Nyambura? But I like her. She's very consistent with her posting. Can I just check my phone real quick?
Check it.
Oh my days, because I need to give her props. I need to give her props.
Check it.
Because she's very consistent.
Yeah.
She uploads every single day.
I'm also curious.
She's like a small. They're all small though. It's long distance runners.
Yeah.
It shocked me how their size also, because they appear different on TV versus in real life.
100%.
They're very small guys.
They're very small guys.
Fly.
Yeah. Like I met when I was going for the All Africa Games, we were all sports disciplines in one camp.
Yeah.
And these people were like ficking me here.
Yes.
And they're super skinny as well.
Super skinny, but their pace is...
They fly.
Their pace is crazy. Imagine I'll have to find this lady at some point. But I do like her. In the bodybuilding sector, there's someone called Philip now. He's really putting up a lot of content. Philip Goya. There's Rashid, who has been how many time Kenyan bodybuilding champion. He also puts up a lot of content for people.
Yeah.
I maybe follow. It seems like I follow many runners, but
you can't find it.
Oh, there's Collins. There's a guy called Collins. He's now a basketball coach. Collins. Then his page is Collins_trainer hoops for greatness. So Kolo.
I know him.
Kolo, basketball player.
Short dark guy.
Yeah. Dark.
No, he looks like you. He kind of looks like you.
That Kolo.
And he even interviews guys and.
Yeah. So that Kolo, let me just go with him for now.
Yeah.
Okay, when I remember her name, when I find it.
Don't worry, the fans will help you in the comments. See if you can find this lady.
So Kolo puts up amazing basketball content, like drills for shooting, for defending, for what, and very consistent with it. There's who else? There's guys like Winnie Okoth, who are in the CrossFit side of things.
She has good engagement on her social media pages.
There's Webster, the weightlifter.
Yes, Lucas.
Yeah, he puts up also good content for guys who are into weightlifting. But yeah, when eventually I remember her name, crazy, I don't remember. I'm sorry, it may just take 5 minutes, but I think it's important that I...
Also, she's not based in Kenya?
She's based in Kenya.
It's Mary.
Mary. She's very small, huh? Mary. Yeah, that's her. Cindy.
You see?
Yeah, she's just all about running. I think just the consistency of how she puts up her content, I think is important for people to see that.
And she has a decent amount of followers too, okay?
Yeah. Mary Ngugi, yeah. I like that I like her consistency a lot.
Yeah.
Her and Kolo.
Okay. I'm glad we found them.
Yeah, I'm glad we
we'll
found
give
them
a shout out.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for us here.
Okay.
But now for the guys who are watching and listening in, as much as we all want to be overnight social media superstars, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to happen like that. Shiv has just demonstrated that it takes being intentional It takes hard work. It takes creativity. And I do agree it does take a bit of luck, but really there is a formula to success, and the formula is out there. You just have to do the right research. So Shiv, thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks, Shani.
Thank you for sharing your insights. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Shani, and the rest of the team. Yeah, excited to be here. I was glad I came. I accepted the invitation.
Yeah.
It's a topic I feel like we need to talk about a lot more, and needs to be out there a lot more for the industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, good job.
Thank you. We appreciate it. You guys know the drill. If you liked this video, hit the like button. And if you loved it, subscribe so you don't miss out on the next amazing guest on the Narrative Podcast. Sending you all good vibes and lots of love. Until next time.
Yeah.